good morning, everyone. My name is Darrell Johnson. I'm the Chief Executive Officer of the Orange County Transportation Authority. Go OCTA, right? All right. I wanted to start by thanking you all very much for being here today as we get set to break ground on the I-405 improvement project. We have a great program planned this morning, and I want to thank all of you for being here. To get things started, I'd like to ask the chair of the OCTA Board of Directors, Supervisor Lisa Bartlett, to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance and to say a few words. Chair Bartlett?
As chair of the OCTA Board of Directors, I'm happy to be representing my colleagues on the board today as we have reached this tremendous milestone. Before we begin the program, I'd like to ask all of you to stand for the presentation of colors by the California State Honor Guard with soldiers from the Veterans Honors Program based at the Los Alamitos Joint Forces Training Base. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I would now like to invite Isaiah Malga up to sing the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Thank you very much, Isaiah. Please be seated, if you have a seat. Welcome to this momentous occasion for OCTA and for the drivers traveling in and about and through Orange County. It's important to understand the Orange County demographics. We are the third largest county by population in the state of the 58 counties, and the sixth largest in the nation. We're bigger than 22 states. We have 3.2 million people in less than 800 square miles. And in 2016, we had over 48 million visitors. So why do we need this project? We can no longer build ourselves out of congestion. The project footprint represents one of the busiest segments of highway in the nation. Significant congestion during rush hour and on weekends, with more than 370,000 daily trips. Traffic is expected to grow with the increase in population, proximity to jobs, and housing. We are looking at a 30% increase in traffic by 2040. The weather, beaches, and tourist attractions make Southern California a great place to live or visit. And so, what will the project entail? This $1.9 billion project will add one regular lane in each direction, which was a promise to voters pursuant to Measure M, Orange County's half-cent sales tax measure for transportation. We'll widen 18 bridges and improve on and off ramps. You might ask, what are the project benefits? Drivers will have a choice to use the new 405 express lanes by carpooling or paying a toll to speed up commute time even more. It is expected to shorten commute to about half an hour in the regular lanes or about 15 minutes in the express lanes. This quicker commute will help us all get to where we need to go faster, allowing us to spend more time with our families and less time stuck in traffic, thereby improving our quality of life. We want to thank all of our stakeholders. As you know, a project like this has a number of stakeholders. This project has been years in the making. I want to recognize the tremendous work of the previous OCTA Board of Directors and staff that helped us to get where we are today. A project like this cannot succeed without significant collaboration from multiple partners, including the state and federal governments. You will hear from legislators and other government officials today shortly. Construction will be getting underway very soon, which is the culmination of the effort of years of stakeholder outreach and input from local cities and residents. The cities and residents in the communities have helped shape a project that will serve not only the residents in this area, but those from throughout Southern California for decades to come. We extend our heartfelt thanks to all of the stakeholders and a special thank you to everyone in attendance today. We appreciate you being here and thank you for sharing in our significant celebration.
Well, thank you, Chair Bartlett, and one more acknowledgement for the national anthem. Wasn't that great? Very nice. So before we start the program, I'd like to go and recognize a number of elected officials who are in the room or in the tent. We've got a pretty long list, which is really cool. So I'm going to ask you to clap at the end. If you break out in clapping, that's okay, but we're going to try to clap at the end. So I'm going to start at the federal level. Grover Berthay, the Deputy Assistant Secretary for Transportation Policy. Vincent Mamano, Division Administrator for Federal Highways. Congresswoman Mimi Walters. Congressman Dana Rohrabacher. Congressman Alan Lowenthal. Caltrans Director Malcolm Doherty, CTC Vice Chair Commissioner Fran Inman, Commissioner Lucy Dunn from the CTC, my friend Susan Branson, the CTC Executive Director, Jim Frazier, the Chair of the Assembly Transportation Committee. That was sort of spontaneous right there, Mr. Frazier. Matthew Harper, member of the State Assembly. And then moving on to the OCTA Board of Directors, you heard from our Chair, Lisa Bartlett. We have our Vice Chair, Tim Shaw, and also Mayor of La Habra. Lori Davies from the City of Laguna Niguel. Barbara Del Glaze, the City of Huntington Beach. Andrew Doe was here earlier, the Chairman of the Board of Supervisors, also on the OCTA Board. Lori Donchek from the City of San Clemente. Michael Hennessy. Richard Murphy from the City of Los Alamitos. Michelle Steele, Board Director and County Supervisor. Greg Winterbottom. And Ryan Chamberlain is also the District 12 Director, but also, you can clap for Ryan, and an ex officio member of the OCTA Board of Directors. And right in front of me, but not on my list, Al Murray. How could I forget Al Murray? City of Tustin, Mayor of City of Tustin. Are some of our local council members here along the 405 corridor? Cheryl Brothers from the City of Fountain Valley. Steve Nagel from Fountain Valley, Mayor Pro Tem. Chris Beard, Garden Grove Mayor Pro Tem. Councilmember Nguyen from the City of Garden Grove. Patrick Brendan, Huntington Beach Council Member. Jeff Lalloway, Irvine Council Member and former OCTA Board Member and Chairman of the Board. Will O'Neill, Newport Beach Mayor Pro Tem. Kimberly Ho, Westminster Council Member. Jerry Amante, former OCTA Board Member. Thank you for coming out, Jerry. Jim Catapodis, former OCTA Board Member. And then I would like to acknowledge from the Office of Assemblymember Daley, Norma Kurtz, and the Office of Congressman Correa, Rachel Ronicki. So if we could have a rousing round of applause. Thank you. In addition to the elected officials and members I've just mentioned, there's a number of individuals that have worked very, very hard in both big ways and small ways on this project. And I wanted to thank specifically the members of the past OCTA boards and present for all of their efforts. So thank you for all of your hard work in getting us to today. In fact, this project hasn't always been an easy one, and our board leadership on the project since I became CEO in early 2013 has been nothing short of heroic. I want to personally thank our previous board chairs that are here and who have supported and guided us through the challenges of the 405. I mentioned Director Greg Winterbottom. I think he's to my left. You moved. Thank you for your hard work. Sean Nelson, Lori Donchek. Lori, thank you for your hard work. Mike Hennessy, thank you for your work all of last year. And as I mentioned a moment ago, Councilmember Jeff Lalloway, thank you for your hard work. And Jerry Monty, thank you for your hard work as well as former chair of the OCTA board. I'm sure each one of these members knew they were getting into something, but they didn't quite know what when they took on this project. It's a very complex puzzle. It has multiple moving parts, but with all joking aside, we could not be here today without their strong leadership in bringing and guiding the rest of the board of directors and the OCTA staff to this point. So congratulations and thank you. It's taken us nearly 15 years of planning to get to this point. And I really couldn't be more excited, except to say, I hope to be more excited in early 2023 when we open the road to drivers and commuters. Over and over again this morning, you're going to hear us mention cooperation, collaboration, and partnership. And each time we say that, it's going to be the truth, because we couldn't do it alone. One of these partners is the state of California, where the support has been tremendous. And there's no more evidence of that from our state legislators, including our friend, my friend, Assemblymember Jim Frazier from the 11th District in Northern California, who is the chairman of the Assembly Transportation Committee. Thanks to Chairman Frazier's leadership and his bill, Assembly Bill 194, OCTA and other transportation agencies around the state have been given the authority to develop and operate hot lane facilities like the 405 express lanes. Thank you for your leadership on that, Mr. Chairman. And at this point, I'd like you to say a few words.
Good morning, everybody, and thank you for including me in this opportunity. Coming from the Contra Costa Transportation Authority, I actually know the good work that OCTA does in being part of the solution for the the desperate need that we need in California. We're growing by leaps and bounds, and the infrastructure is not keeping up. And so I have to thank all of the elected officials from Orange County that know that they've got to be a part of the solution to help the people that they represent. But in that vein, in 2015, I authored Assembly Bill 194 to provide regional agencies tolling authority on the state highway system. So it gives me great pleasure to be here today for the groundbreaking ceremony of the I-405 improvement project. And through my role as the chair of the Assembly Transportation Committee, I have worked to ensure that agencies like OCTA, who I absolutely adore, even though I'm from Northern California, that they have the flexibility they need to deliver projects in an expedited manner. And you heard Daryl talk about 15 years in planning. That has to stop. We have to move projects faster. So this will provide the congestion relief and the generation of thousands of jobs. The 405 improvement project illustrates the kind of cooperation necessary, and you heard Daryl say cooperation, necessary between federal, state, and local governments and regional transportation agencies to reduce congestion in California and further improve the economy. You know, freight is a big dynamic here in California. It's a third of our economy, and hey, if we get the people moving, they're making more money, and more people want to ship their goods through California, so we make more money. Hey, novel concept, right? The kind of relationship is exactly what I've envisioned when I championed 194, a bill that expanded the use of managed lanes while maintaining local, and I'll say this again, local control over the operations and administrations of the facilities, because local does it better. The vast majority of the $1.9 billion, this project is locally funded. Locally funded. Can you believe that? That's a novel concept, right? Because you guys want to be part of the solution, and I just can't thank you enough. But it's when agencies like OCTCA are willing to make an investment of this magnitude, and it's our job at the state level to help them leverage their dollars to make improvements to their communities. And in developing AB 194, I recognize that each region of the state is different. The I-405 corridor currently carries 300,000 vehicle trips per day, making it one of most of the congested corridors in the country. And these express lanes included as part of this project, subject to the provisions of 194, are expected to reduce travel times through the I-405 corridor by as much as 2 hours. I pushed so hard for this legislation because I did not want regional transportation agencies like OCTA to face unnecessary burdens or hurdles when implementing projects for the benefit of the commuters. And I'm proud that my legislation was one part of the effort to allow such a momentous project like this one to succeed. And when completed in 5 years, and not 5 years and 1 day, I'll look forward to coming back to Orange County to celebrate a project that was meaningful, on time, on budget, done safely, and improved the economy and the people's quality of life here in Orange County. Thank you, OCTA.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and here publicly we invite you back in 2023 to help us cut the ribbon. So, as you've heard a little bit about the 405 improvement project, it is currently the largest highway project under construction in California, and it's the largest project in OCTA and Orange County's history. And thanks to legislation from Assemblymember Tom Daly, we have the ability to, and we are utilizing the design-build method of construction to speed up the project and to be as cost-effective as possible. Unfortunately, Assemblymember Daly was unable to be here this morning at the last minute, but I did want to publicly recognize him for his efforts. So if you could please join me in congratulating Tom Daly. Before our next speaker, I just wanted to take a quick moment to thank all of you that have worked on the project. And it's always dangerous to use names, so I'm not going to use names. But I want to thank all of the project managers, public and private, at Caltrans and OCTA and our consulting partners, our contractors, our engineers, and all of our OCTA staff. The number of meetings the OCTA staff sat through on the 405, even if they were in bus operations, was extensive. We couldn't be here today without that. And I want to personally thank the members of the city's Public Works Department, traffic engineers. I see a few of those guys standing in the back, so I want to say thank you. We really appreciate your hard work. In many ways, because all of the work until now has been planning, this feels a little bit like a ribbon cutting as opposed to a groundbreaking. But I hope you're all as proud as I am of reaching this point. And moving on from this point, we couldn't have gotten to this point today without cooperation from the state of California. You heard from Chairman Frazier, but the California Department of Transportation plays a critical role. It's a team effort. It's an absolute partnership in delivering a project of this scale and scope. And I'd like to ask Caltrans Director Malcolm Doherty to say a few words.
Thanks, Darrell. I very much appreciate the opportunity to be here and to help celebrate the groundbreaking of this very important project. And as was already noted, the only thing that beats a groundbreaking is a ribbon cutting, and we will look forward to the completion of this project such that the benefit will be realized by the local community as well as the region, both for commuter purposes but also the movement of goods. I want to concentrate on just a couple of points because many very appropriate things have been said and very appropriate things will be said, but I want to highlight the partnership that was already alluded to and the success that partnership has yielded by the fruition of this project. This is a huge undertaking, and it does not happen without going through a great partnership and successful partnerships at the local level, at the state level, and also the federal level, and you'll hear from those partners as well. Not only in funding a project, and OCTA is making a significant contribution to the funding of this project, but also in developing and getting through the process of bringing us to construction and getting through construction. And I do not want to undersell that. And also the partnerships with the local community. I want to publicly thank Ryan Chamberlain, who's been thanked, but also all of his staff for the work that they've done in coordination, cooperation with OCTA. You could, please. Ryan will be the first one to point to everybody else that worked on the project, but under his leadership, we've been able to successfully work with OCTA and others. The other partnership that I also want to highlight is the not only with the local partners and federal partners, but also the California Transportation Commission and the business leaders in Orange County to be able to champion this project and recognize the benefit of investing in transportation. And one key link between both those communities is Transportation Commissioner Lucy Dunn, who represents Orange County incredibly well on the Transportation Commission and is a champion of transparency and accountability. I can account for that myself. But also rallied the business community to know about the investment of transportation and the benefits of this specific project. So I want to personally thank Lucy Dunn. I don't need to dwell on the benefits of this project. It's been alluded to already. Anybody that drives the 405 knows that it needs to be upgraded to be able to handle the volume of traffic and the future volume of traffic in a very strategic way. And this project is addressing the volume of traffic in a very strategic way. And forward thinking about handling and the movement of people and goods for the quality of life and the economic vitality of the region. So those are the main two things that I wanted to highlight. I want to, in advance, thank the design teams on the private side as well as the contractor for their work, and I wish them well in their endeavor and also their operations in a safe manner. And the last thing I want to do is I want to ask for local communities' patience during construction and local commuters' patience during construction, and also plead with them to drive safely for the safety of the contractors and the safety of my employees. And I want to give a shout out to the California Highway Patrol for their effort in keeping us safe on highways throughout the state every day, and especially through construction zones. So thank you to the California Highway Patrol. Later on, you'll hear from the Federal Highway Administration, and I want to express my appreciation for their ongoing partnership on all projects in California, and specifically this one, and they played a very important role. And I will leave the stage by expressing my congratulations to OCTA and the voters of Orange County for investing in transportation themselves. So congratulations, Darrell, and thank you.
Thank you, Malcolm. As you alluded to, the partnership with the federal government is very important. And right here, the 405 is a key highway through the heart of Orange County, and we're pleased to have with us today Congressman Dana Rohrabacher, who represents the people here in the 48th Congressional District. Congressman Rohrabacher.
We've got some very serious challenges that face all of us. Last night, I was walking somewhere in my district, and a fellow came up to me and pulled a gun on me. And he said, "Give me your money." And I looked at him and said, "You can't rob me, don't you know? I'm the United States Congressman from this district. I represent this area in the United States Congress. You can't rob me." And he says, "You're a congressman? Well, then give me back my money." Ain't it great? We're going to get some of our money back right here. It's going to get it back in a way that's going to improve our lives. It's going to make ordinary people live better, make our county and our state more competitive because we're getting goods and services and people do their jobs. This has been a terrific project, and I want to thank all of you who put your time and effort at all of the levels for this great accomplishment. 6 of the cities I represent, this going right through here. That's terrific. Thank you on their behalf. But let me just note this. This is what America is all about, and you're going about this in exactly the right way. We have a president now who has committed himself to rebuilding America's infrastructure, and we're all going to be working with you to make sure we work with the administration to fulfill that vision that he has. But what you've done here is you've brought in federal, state, and local, but also you've given a method of achieving money by having this, part of this is a user fee. So you've actually taken all of these things into consideration to give us a wonderful asset for our country. And let me just one last note. I love to read history, and I visited various places in the world. One of the great civilizations has left us with examples of their greatness. And one of the great things that you have seen in different countries has been their transportation and road systems. What do we know about ancient Rome? But we do know, yes, they had all of those colosseums, but they built roads that have lasted centuries. Thank you for building the infrastructure that America will leave behind, that will make sure that all Americans live the American dream, have a chance at it, and will say to the people in years to come, they did the job. I wonder who they were. We know who they are. You guys, all of you who participated, thank you very much. God bless.
Thank you, Congressman. Very inspiring words. Congressional support has been critical in bringing together projects of this magnitude all over the country, but most importantly right here in Orange County. Congressman Mimi Walters is key in helping keep projects like this, projects that are important to our communities and important to our region, right at the forefront of the national discussion. I'd like to invite Congressman Mimi Walters to say a few words.
Well, good morning, everyone. It's great to be home. You know, I spend an awful lot of time on the East Coast, and I appreciate the weather here so much more now than I used to. So it's a beautiful, beautiful day. And I'm honored to be here for the I-405 Improvement Project groundbreaking ceremony. This 16-mile project will have a significant positive impact on the surrounding communities. The additional lanes and improvements to freeway entrances, exits, and bridges are needed to accommodate Orange County's growing population. This project represents the successful coordination of state, federal, and local entities. Thanks to a number of funding sources, including the OCGO Transportation Sales Tax, state funds, and the TIFIA loan program, this project is now in the construction phase. Federal credit assistance programs like TIFIA help deliver large-scale surface transportation projects that might otherwise be delayed or deferred due to size, complexity, or uncertainty over the timing of revenues. One great benefit of programs like TIFIA, the TIFIA loan program, are low interest rates. Specific to this project, this loan, which was secured by OCTA, will save Orange County taxpayers $300 million over the 35-year life of the loan compared to traditional bond financing. These types of programs demonstrate how innovative federal financing methods can successfully deliver transportation projects and save taxpayer dollars. I look forward to the completion of this project and the benefits it will provide the entire region, including California's 45th Congressional District. Thank you.
Thank you, Congresswoman Walters. I think you said a lot of very important things there about the whole region, and we thank you for your support and help. Next, I'd like to invite Congressman Alan Lowenthal to say a few words. And as he's making his way up here, I wanted to note that he's been a friend of transportation for a long time. He served as chair of the Transportation and Housing Committee as a state senator from 2006 to 2010. His door is always open to us from Orange County and Washington. And he's now Orange County's only representative on the very important and powerful Transportation and Infrastructure Committee in the House of Representatives. Congressman Lowenthal.
Thank you for those kind words. And I really want to join with everyone else in congratulating Lisa Bartlett and Darrell Johnson and the entire OCTA team for hosting what is a tremendous event. This is, I too look forward to the culmination of the project, not just the groundbreaking of the project, but we know in terms of Southern California, this is a major infrastructure project, probably one of the last highway major infrastructure projects that we're going to have, and we're so proud. I'm at one end of the project, and I traverse both the LA side and the Orange County side. My district is both half and half, LA and Orange County. So for me, who uses this almost every single day that I'm in the district, I'm so proud to be here and to show support. I don't want to have to leave, as I did this morning, at 7:30 to get here at 9 o'clock from just on the edge of just on the other side of Seal Beach. And so this is going to be wonderful. I also want to thank Jim Frazier for the great leadership, Malcolm Doherty from Caltrans, Tom Daly, who did the legislation for design build. You know, this truly is a team effort, and everybody is looking at this project nationwide and statewide. And we know that it's because of this work of our leaders, both here in Orange County and in Sacramento, that we are able to build such a major infrastructure project. This project, as I've told everyone, as I've just mentioned, which will link Los Angeles County and Orange County, which is a major improvement in this area, is not only going to be great for those in automobiles, but we have to remember that the 405 project here, that 72 miles of the 405 project is part of our national highway freight network. This is a major part because Southern California's economy is so tied to freight, and this will be a tremendous help as part, and this 16-mile stretch, which has been clogged because of some of the issues around freight, will be opened up. And that both helps us economically and makes our lives a lot less stressful and better for the district. As was pointed out, this is a great partnership between the county, the state, as I've just pointed out, and the federal government. But it really was, let's be honest, it really was Orange County's leadership that led this project. The $1.1, I think, billion of the project that comes from the Measure M funds really showed that self-help counties like Orange County really have taken up that responsibility to help the infrastructure. And I really applaud Orange County for doing that, for really stepping up. But in doing that, I really want you to know that you have great partners in Washington. Mimi, Dana, Lou, myself, the four of us that really represent Orange County in the federal government work together. We were all supportive of this project. We all worked together, and especially to make sure that kind of one of the links, and that was the $629 million TIFIA loan that came in, which really, well, it doesn't, you know, it's a loan, but it also is going to reduce the interest payments and save hundreds of millions of dollars for Orange County. So it was our part in the federal government to make sure that we made this project work, and we made it work. So I'm really proud to have worked with OCTA in doing that. It really was the leadership of OCTA. And as I pointed out, it is so critical that we all work together to help this. But I also want to say that I'm also really proud, even though we're talking now about a highway infrastructure bill that is so critical, I am also really proud of OCTA for investing in MetroLink and also investing in the OC streetcar project, which are really going to help us to be one component of reducing the congestion on the 405. You know, we have a tremendous toolbox. Transit is part of that toolbox. Infrastructure improvement is part of that toolbox, and I did not want to leave without mentioning the leadership of Orange County in now promoting transit, especially MetroLink and OCTA. So I want to just let everybody know how committed I am to this project, how pleased I am to be here, and I really do hope, although, you know, that I'm back again, God willing, and there are elections, and we don't close down the government again, that I'm here for the actual completion of the project. Thank you all, and it's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you, Congressman Lowenthal. Your excitement and exuberance about infrastructure is well known, and we really, really appreciate it. As was mentioned a few times, we couldn't do this project without federal support, and the TIFIA loan did save us $300 million over traditional financing. I'm very happy to introduce Grover Berthay. He's the Deputy Assistant Secretary for Policy at the United States Department of Transportation, who is here with us today, and in his role, he was very helpful in us navigating that TIFIA loan process. Grover.
Thank you for the kind introduction, Daryl. On behalf of Secretary Chow and the entire U.S. Department of Transportation, I'm very proud to congratulate OCTA, Caltrans, and all the other partners in this very successful and important project. Prior to joining the department, I commuted between Los Angeles and Orange County for 3 years on the 405 highway, so I personally know the importance of this project. Much to my wife's annoyance, I actually called the 405 my second home. At DOT, I have primary responsibility for the Build America Bureau, which manages our TIFIA credit program. Since inception in 1998, the TIFIA program has approved 80 loans totaling $30 billion, stimulating over $100 billion in total transportation infrastructure projects across 22 states, the District of Columbia, and Puerto Rico. It is an almost indispensable component to any major infrastructure project due to the interest cost savings that have been mentioned by several prior to me, due to the flexible payment terms, and due to the very long length of duration that it provides projects. 2017 was a very, very successful year for the TIFIA program. We closed $4.1 billion in loans, a 27% improvement year over year, pursued several streamlining processes that hopefully make loans in the future a bit more of an easier process, and we look forward to continuing that momentum this year. Secretary Chow has placed the Bureau at the top of her priorities for 2018, along with the administration's broader infrastructure initiatives, and we look forward to making it a one-stop shop for program sponsors looking to leverage federal transportation. We are open for business. The TIFIA program has capacity for over $20 billion in loans, and also our RIF program, which supports rail, has $26 billion of capacity. We've had a lot of success with California in the past. TIFIA has supported transportation projects across the state since 2003. Over that time period, we've approved $4.4 billion in loans across 12 projects for a total project value of almost $18 billion. So, again, we appreciate the partnership with the many agencies across the state and look forward to continuing that collaboration in the future. This project received a $629 million TIFIA loan. The Long Beach, Los Angeles, Santa Ana 405 corridor is one of the most congested highways in the nation. It's really hard to argue that any project deserves that support more than this one. We have an excellent working relationship with OCTA and Caltrans, and we'd like to thank Kirk Avila, I don't know if Kirk is here today, for his support and getting this process to a close. OCTA has been a pioneer in developing express lanes in the United States. SR 91 was the first express lane P3 in this country in 1995, and we've been very impressed with the professionalism and determination of the OCTA staff. So again, congratulations on this groundbreaking. I also look forward to the actual completion of the project and all the time that it will save, and you have the full support of US DOT.
On the federal level, we also couldn't do the project without the support of the Federal Highway Administration. I'd like to introduce Vince Mamano. He's the Division Administrator for the Federal Highway Administration of the California Division. Vince and his team played a very important role in advancing this project forward. Vince?
Thanks, Daryl. All these tall speakers. Accommodate us who are vertically challenged in the future, all right? I'll take care of it, because I'm federal government. We'll do it on our own. So I had a beautiful speech prepared, and let's see, freight was hit, TIFIA funding was hit, partnership, collaboration. I thought I'd get the multimodal approach to transportation here in the area, but that was hit too, so well done, everybody. Thank you for my speech. But there's a couple things I just want to share that I was talking to our senior transportation engineer, Tay Dam, that's been working on this project in my office for a while. And I asked him before this meeting, I said, did you ever say we weren't going to be able to do this? And he said, no. So I've been here 10 years, and I've worked on this project for a little bit. And that was never a statement that we can't do this. The question was always, how can we do this? How are we going to work together to get this done? And there's a lot of challenges that went through the innovative financing, innovative approach to the delivery of the project early on as we were finishing the environmental. A lot of work that went into, let's be creative, let's make sure we're right, but let's be creative. And I think that's one of the things that only happens with a great partnership and great collaboration. And I know the partnership that we have with Caltrans, with Malcolm Doherty and his team, and Daryl and OCTA and the commission with Susan Branson and her team, there's a lot of work that goes into it. I appreciate the integrity that I see in all these leaders here in California. I see safety as an important piece of that. It's a nonstop statement that I hear. But it's just something I thought you all needed to know, that that was never an issue. It was so complicated that I didn't want to share this, but I will. I've hired 2 deputies in the last 3 years, and this project was an interview question for my deputies. All right, what happens if all those things happen at the same time? How do you deliver a project? I hired them both, so they gave me a good answer, so that's something good to know. But the key answer in all of that was partnership and working together. So I want to congratulate you again on the delivery of this very complicated and challenging project. I appreciate the statement of managed lanes, because the tolling, I heard on the TV this morning, people were rolling their eyes about the tolling part of it, but the tolling is used to manage the lanes, and I think that's an important part of it. It's not the primary revenue source for a project. The tolling is used to manage the lanes to allow the traffic to move as best as possible. And lastly, I want to just share one more last safety note. Put your phone down. How many people looked to your left and looked to your right as you were driving here today and saw someone going like this, texting while they're driving? It's not that important. Whatever you're trying to do, you can get that text later. So thank you for your time, and congratulations again.
Guided by our board of directors, OCTA has a long and distinct history of partnering with the private sector to ensure we get the best value for our taxpayers and to create local jobs. And this project is no exception. We have a tremendous team in place that is constructing the project, and I'm very happy to invite up Tony Bagari. Tony is the Regional Director and Executive Vice President of Western USA OHL, who is representing our contractor, OC405 Partners. Tony.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Tony Bagari, Regional Manager and Executive Vice President for OHL USA. I've been building highways for 37 years, so I apologize if I'm a little nervous. I'm in awe of the company, so I just wanted to get that out. I would like to thank Daryl Johnson and OCTA and Caltrans team for the opportunity for us to be here today. We're the OC405 partners, the contractor, and OHL USA and a Saldi joint venture, and we are excited to kick off this critical project. We have a proven track record of successfully building thousands of miles of highways across the globe. We have the expertise and knowledge, and we will get this done, and we will get it done. For more than a year, we've been working with Caltrans and OCTA and extensive planning coordination with them, and our team of civil engineers and construction professionals are ready to hit the ground running. Working in close partnership with OCTA, we've developed a comprehensive strategy to maintain workers and traffic public safety and minimize work-related traffic delays and impact to the communities. We're together in this. Our staff, including myself, we drive this route every day to our regional office in Irvine. We're looking forward to timely completion of this project where everybody can have reduced travel times. So how are we going to get this done? Our number one priority is to ensure a safe environment for our workforce and traffic public and public traffic, traveling public. I apologize. Anyway, the project will adhere to proven safety standards that OHL and Astaldi have implemented across the globe and will meet the Cal OSHA standards that we're required to. In addition, our transportation management plan is designed to minimize traffic delays by combining traditional transportation management practices with data analysis, public awareness, and incident management, among others. We're also creating jobs. OC405 project has already created more than 100 positions, and we're looking forward to adding another 700 positions as we ramp up toward construction. We will work with our partners to provide local communities and other project stakeholders with regular updates on our progress, and look forward to delivering a monumental project in the future. Thank you very much, and let's go build a highway. Thank you.
It's great to see some of my colleagues and former colleagues here. Of course, my assembly colleague and colleague on the Transportation Committee, Chair Jim Frazier here. It's also great to see many of my former colleagues on the OCTA Board of Directors. on this issue. We had so much discussion, debate, and I really appreciate that, and I really appreciate the fact that we're moving towards our goal of getting additional lanes on the 405 freeway. And I also appreciate my former colleagues on the Huntington Beach City Council here as well. If I could ask Daryl as well as the chair to be able to come up. I very much appreciate the need for this project. Over my entire lifetime, I've seen just about as much as anybody the need for this project. I went to elementary school adjacent to the 405 freeway in the Westminster School District. I've lived in an apartment in Huntington Beach adjacent to the 405, and my district office for the state assembly is 1 mile up at the Harbor Boulevard right next to the 405, and I see that traffic bunch up because of all the cars that are backed up because of the loss of the lanes at Euclid as well as Brookhurst. So I'm really happy to see the additional lanes coming and seeing this project move forward. And with that, I'd like to present this certificate to the Orange County Transportation Authority on moving forward on the 405 on your groundbreaking. Congratulations.
Thank you, Assemblymember Harper. We're almost done, I promise. In fact, it's getting so hot in the back, the balloons are starting to pop. So, but I wanted to recognize Congressman Correa could not be here today. Rachel Ronicky from his office is here. Thank you, Rachel, for being here. And also Norma Kurtz from Assemblymember Daley's office is here. The next part is really important, and I want you to listen to that, because we don't throw a party like this with taxpayer dollars. We rely on sponsorships and contributions from our partners on the project. So I'd like to talk about that for just a moment. Our presenting partner, OC 405 Partners, who you just heard from Tony, is OHL and Astaldi joint venture in conjunction with an exclusive subcontracting team of Myers & Sons Construction and All American Asphalt. They've teamed up to design and build the 405 improvement project. So thank you to OC 405 Partners. I'd also like to thank Parsons. Parsons is a firm that provides engineering, construction, and management support to both government agencies and private industries worldwide. Thank you, Parsons. And also thanks to Kleinfelder. Kleinfelder is a company of engineers, scientists, public relations, construction professionals that provide solutions that improve clients' transportation, water, energy, and other private infrastructure. Thank you, Kleinfelder. I'd also like to thank a long list, but a very important list of other sponsors at our event today. HNTB, Jacobs, Moffitt Nickel, Lochner, Arup, Guida Surveying, Mott McDonald, Fountainhead, Harris, Overland Pacific Cutler, Fugro, ICF, Iteris, Trans Systems. You can clap, it's okay. You clap for Somas, Advanced Civil Technologies, CEMS, FPL and Associates, MBI, Tasumi and Partners, Circle Point, Hout Construction Services, Lynn Kapoya, AG Design, DTN Tech, Stater Brothers, Home Depot, and Stantec. What an incredible list of folks that are helping us build the I-405 improvement project. We could not do it without all of you. Whether your role in the project is big or small, it's a very important role to bring this all together. So thank you for all of that. And then finally, thank IKEA. They want you to come and shop afterwards, by the way, right? There's a rumor that they have Swedish meatballs inside, and you can pick up a desk or a chest of drawers on your way out. They have been nothing short of exemplary in talking to us and allowing us to use their parking lot. They had some issue with Christmas. We couldn't do this at Christmas. But other than that, all joking aside, they have been outstanding, and we would love for you to patronize IKEA and thank them for helping us with that. And then finally, I'd like to thank the residents, the businesses, and the commuters in advance for their patience during construction. We know construction is never a good neighbor, but we are working and doing all we can to keep our residents and businesses and commuters informed to have as little impact as possible on that daily commute. I can't wait to see everyone back here in 5 years. Early 2023, we're going to be back here cutting a ribbon. Hopefully IKEA will let us use the parking lot again. But it's going to be a major investment, a major improvement on the Interstate 405 in Orange County, and we couldn't do it without you. So with that, I'd like to ask the speakers that are here, if you could please join me. We'll do a couple of photos, and then with that, we're done. Thank you for all of your hard work and support, and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.
attending our tremendous groundbreaking ceremony here at the IKEA headquarters.